What we're talking about right now is the idea of you have the idea, you have the information, or here's the information. What I'm leading you to is the implementation. It's that through thread from idea to and information to how do you turn around and implement it. The issue with high level is it does so much, and I think people get distracted by all the shiny objects. I could do this, I could do that, I could do the other thing, and they never get to implementation. And when I say they, I don't mean the top 5 or 20%.
Oh no.
Those
Yeah.
the reason they are the top 20% is because they are doing it. Who I'm concerned about is in the bottom 15%, they're not going to do anything anyway.
Anything. I would say it's even higher than 15%.
But
You're
that
being generous.
the middle of the bell curve, that 60% who are
100%.
stuck in the middle, who
Absolutely.
they know what they should be doing, they don't know how to move forward, and they get
Well,
stuck right there.
and what's so powerful, especially like I didn't have any snapshots or any of that.
Hmm.
I've been on Go High Level since 2019.
Hmm.
I was a very early adopter,
Yes, you were.
very, very early. Still don't know crap about it, but I know enough to be dangerous. Like I legit know enough to be dangerous. And then when I get myself in trouble, I reach out to a handful of people that'll
Hmm.
just scoop me out of trouble and I just send them money. And they're
Uh-huh.
like, Terry, you could do this. I was like, I don't want, no, no, no,
Don't
I
want.
don't want to do it. I
Yes.
don't want to do it. I have
Yeah.
zero interest in doing it.
Yeah.
So we could absolutely get them there. The one thing we may have to do a few live trainings. Like I want the core of the content dripped out, but if we're going to include a snapshot, we're probably going to. And at what point do we give that out? Like, do we give that in
Hmm.
the beginning or do we give it once the lessons have all gone out? Do that's something we'll have to think about because
Yeah.
I also don't want people to get the snapshot and punt the education, right? Because then
Right.
you're no better off, right?
Yeah.
You're
Right.
screwing stuff up
Right.
and you're getting accounts shut down
Yeah.
and
Because one of the issues is most of the people that get in this little do loop, it's because that what Frank is teaching is valid. My concern with what Frank is teaching is he's throwing the script out there, and there's a whole bunch of people who don't know how to think. And so they take and copy they're outsourcing their thinking to Frank Kern. And they're copying his script and they're throwing it into a Facebook group without doing any market analysis. And it's not getting the result because they don't know why it worked for Frank in the
because he's
places.
Frank freaking Kern.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
I,
like comparing yourself to Russell Brunson. I mean,
yeah.
there are.
Yeah.
I'm not a Gary V or a Alec Hermosi fan. I believe they're
Hmm.
both very talented and brilliant, but
Hmm.
the hustle till it hurts.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 60 next year. I'm the opposite of hustle till it hurts.
Hmm.
I'm the work as little as possible and make
Hmm.
as much freaking money as possible.
Hmm.
And I think that you're almost shamed
Hmm.
in the marketing world if that's not your MO.
Right.
And I just don't subscribe to that. Another
Yeah.
reason why I pick um, you know, email and SMS.
Hmm.
I
As
have
your
very
channels.
basic templates
Hmm.
because that's what delivers, especially
Hmm.
with the all of the spam and the this and
Hmm.
the that.
Hmm.
And
Well,
so what I love about this model and what we could bring
hmm.
is a mom, a stay-home mom who wants to
Uh-huh.
contribute to her household can do so in a very meaningful way doing
Yes.
this.
Same
Well,
place.
I'm a business owner since 2012 because
Hmm.
I got fed up.
Hmm.
I got absolutely fed up. I
Hmm.
went back after my doggy daycare and boarding facility closed in the recession. I needed to make money. And so I
Hmm.
went back into IT project management and I sucked it up from 2012 to James kept showing up on my freaking thing. We're building that bridge. And I bought into LMV in 2018.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh my God. And Sean, the guy I bought it from, he wasn't even in anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's not in anymore. I grilled him. I grilled him and I said, listen to me. If anything that you're telling me is not true,
Mm-hmm.
you do not want me as an enemy. I said,
Mm-hmm.
because I just really don't. And I came in, and back in the day, we didn't have the school group. We didn't
Mm-hmm.
have any of it. We had, I think it was on, oh, what's the big course platform?
Kajabi?
I think so. No, it was on
Coursera.
ClickFunnels.
It was
I think it was actually on ClickFunnels, but
posted on
maybe the
ClickFunnels.
course, but maybe the course was on Kajabi, or maybe the course
Okay.
is on Kajabi now. But I mean, we had, like, you didn't have the cute little modules. You didn't have the lives every freaking day of the week. You didn't have
Mm-hmm.
any of that. You had a checklist, an action checklist. And you downloaded it, and Jason McKim must have updated that thing, I don't know how many times. And then I would say, son of a, I would download it, I'd print it off, and I'd mark my thing off to keep my part, right? And see, is there anything I need to go back up? Well, the way it was designed then, like, I never even went through the Google Ads training, because until you landed a client in that, you didn't, right? Unless that was an area. So I, like, there were parts of the old training that I never made it through, because I hit the ground running. I went from zero revenue to, and I joined right after Thanksgiving, like
Mm-hmm.
right after Thanksgiving. And all I did was watch training in December, and I quit taking consulting jobs, and I just watched training. And in January, I landed 5 free trials and was like, oh my Lord, what have I done?
Mm-hmm.
And then by May, by
Mm-hmm.
May, I hit $11,280, I think. And then in June, I did 21,000. I did not
Uh-huh.
get exponentially better in 30 days. I just kept turning that stupid client getting action sheet green
Every
for
single day.
9 months.
Mm-hmm.
9 months. So people say I had it easy. I
No,
was quick success, all that stuff.
no.
Nope.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nope.
It's
I
it's
went in and did
if
it.
you do the if you so we have a module in high in GHL Business Launch called Social Media Sniper. And in it, Devin literally says this is the most valuable 15. I don't know what time limit he says. It's actually, the video is less than 13 minutes. It's 12 and a half, 12 and three quarters minutes. He says this is the most valuable 15 minutes of that you'll ever watch. Um, I think if anyone actually applied exactly the methodology that he describes, it absolutely would be. I am also equally convinced that no one has.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure not. You can tell immediately by the questions people are asked. You have not watched that training. You
Mhm.
have not downloaded that thing. You have not done any
Any
of
implement
what you were
and
supposed to do.
the thread, the idea, get the information, but the implementation is where the rubber meets the road,
It is.
whether something and anything happens depends on this. And it wasn't intentional, but this gap is huge.
Oh, but you know what though? It's huge in every industry. Oh, I'm busy. I'm
Hmm.
productive. No, you're not.
Hmm.
No, you're
Yeah.
not. I ran to a six-figure agency without a website.
Hmm.
But people come in and they do all the different things, and now with Lovable, you can have a website in 3 seconds. Okay, that's an
Hmm.
exaggeration. But anywho,
But,
all right.
but but the point still is people come into this digital marketing space and they do a bunch of busy work to create their business, and they haven't actually done any of the work that will
I was a
generate
sole
clients.
proprietor for 2.5 years. I went up
Mhm.
to the IRS website. I got an EIN number based on my social security number.
Mhm.
Like, and you see people, well, what about this name? What about that name? What about this
Yeah.
logo? And I'm like, that logo does not put money in your bank account. And I'm probably a little too militant on that. Like, I just don't have patience for that. Like,
Well,
just do the thing.
but
And yeah, you're gonna
that
suck. You're
yeah.
gonna suck.
Yeah.
Guess what? My mission when I started this, actually, my mission every single day is to suck less than I did the day before.
Hmm.
Like I've gotten really into vibe coding. I can't figure out a couple things on a really cool tool I've built, and it's pissing me off. But guess
Hmm.
what? I'm not curling up in a ball crying, going, "Ah, this doesn't work."
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't work how I think it should work.
But that doesn't mean you can't either keep pushing or go find someone who can help you
Who
work through it.
I'm this close to hiring someone to do it.
Hmm.
It's a component of the membership, but it's so powerful. I think it could be a lead magnet.
Hmm.
It's a numbers dashboard that I build every single one of my clients, and it it looks at their I consider key metrics. Well,
Hmm.
I made it so easy for them that they get a spreadsheet, they download it, they fill in the spreadsheet, they come back to the tool, they upload it, their dashboard builds like that. And I'm like, okay, I used to take 2 hours to do that damn thing, you know? So even if not another soul uses this dashboard,
Uh-huh. It's worth it to you. Yeah.
I just got my time back.